Hey, Dawson, how's it going, man?
Hey.
First day, week one, the Jets,
Oh, yeah, it's good. Get under our belts. It was a good one.
Now, the biggest surprise, in that room, and you should know more than anybody at this point, is Reggie Gillum. So, tell us a little bit more about him, and in your eyes, what can he bring to the table with this franchise?
Oh, yeah, Reggie's been really impressive, just very athletic, explosive. Everyone hates going individual drills with him because he's going to blow someone up. Dude, I think he's got a lot of good potential. He's already shown a lot. He's already surprised a lot of people. So I'm really excited to see him out there.
Now, speaking of exciting, man, everybody is, ecstatic about this offense. So, against the Jets, this Sunday, what is the expectations for this offense?
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows, like, we have all the tools that we need. We're dangerous. We're explosive. So I think there's been a lot of excitement built up over this offseason. So I think it's just all going to come together at the right time. And we trust in Dayball's system, and everyone's been having a lot of fun so far. And Josh is playing great. O-line's playing great. So I think we're ready to start playing against people other than ourselves. So it's going to be fun.
Absolutely. I know you're real ecstatic. No Jamal Adams you have to deal with. So, that should be well for you. But, we wish you nothing but the best this week and good luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Dawson. Heather Prusak here. Good to see you. Happy week one, I'll say.
Thanks. It's finally here. It feels like it's been forever.
I know. It feels like it's been years instead of just months.
Yeah. It's been way too long.
Very, very excited. Hey, I wanted to ask you, when you look at what Brandon Beane has been able to do since he got to the Bills, he's really been able to establish this model of draft, develop, and re-sign. I mean, we've already seen that with Deion Dawkins and now Trey over the weekend. From your perspective, being a draft pick and being in this system, I guess what's your view on that when you see that? How does that bode for for their draft picks?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's super exciting for us to see. It gives us a lot of belief in ourselves that if, they're retaining guys like that, like Deion and Trey, that, are signing huge contracts that they've deserved and earned. It's really exciting for us knowing that they see the same talent and that we're going to be in the system. And I hope to be here for a really long time. So I hope to just keep developing, keep getting better every day. So hopefully I can, be in their shoes one day.
Awesome. Thanks, Dawson.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Dawson, Dan Fates here in Rochester. There's been so much talk about you from other players and, people around the league saying that you're going to have this breakout season. Where do you feel comfort-wise heading into this season?
Oh, I would say it's night and day different from last year because it was I had a very simplified system at Ole Miss. So it was like my head was spinning for a while last year, just trying to figure out, first and foremost, where to line up, then, what route to run based on coverage, protection was brand new to me. So it was a lot of just kind of not being able to play as fast as I wanted to, just trying to make sure I'm doing my assignment the right way. And now it's like I can start breaking down film deeper on what DBs are doing in certain coverages and really knowing what page Josh wants to be on with me, the timing with him. So I think I've been able to focus a lot more on those little things to where I can play a lot faster this year. So I'm excited for that.
Did the quarantining and this kind of weird offseason give you more of a time to kind of hit the iPad or, kind of hit the books to kind of understand, like you're talking about, the X's and O's of what's expected of you?
Oh, absolutely. Now that I kind of had the foundation of the playbook already in place, it was kind of nice to be able to start diving into some of those more complicated concepts, like knowing what progression the quarterback's going down based on the coverage and stuff like that, and knowing how not to be open too fast before the quarterback sees you. And then, different defensive fronts in the blocking game and the run game. So there was a lot of extra time. It was nice spending time with family and friends, but also having our iPad with us this whole offseason was really nice.
Thanks, Dawson.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, Dawson, Sal Capaccio, WGR. Good to see you, man.
How's it going?
Pretty good. I know that last year you still had to fight for a roster spot, obviously, as a rookie, but you also now have had a year to develop relationships, and you've seen the business side of it this past weekend, with guys being let go. And I understand a lot of them come back, fortunately, because of the practice squad, but What's that been like for you, kind of transitioning and understanding the game from the business side and, having to go through that this year, watching that?
Yeah, it's always tough making relationships with guys that might be let go, but it's also exciting when guys get signed back for practice squad. And I'm very thankful for my roster spot. I definitely don't want to take that for granted. But at the same time, you got to appreciate those guys that are coming back for practice squad. They went through a stressful weekend and now they're back here with us, which is exciting. And at the same time, it just kind of makes you reflect on your own spot, how you got here and how, we can't take those little things for granted, like making the roster. So I want to keep, I call it a walk-on mindset because I walked on in college. I want to keep that same type of, not ever being complacent, just the type of mentality I want to keep.
Thanks, man. Good luck to you.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks.
Okay, Dawson, Mark Gaughan from the Buffalo News. Thanks for doing this. Actually, I had the same question as Dan Fates had about, just being more comfortable in year two. And you talked about Brian's offense. It's not a simple offense. So I guess just to follow up on that, he does like, you have option routes. How much of an adjustment was that, option routes? Did you do that a lot at Ole Miss? And secondly, your blocking development. How do you feel about, that's somewhat of a strength. Do you feel it's somewhat of a strength? And how do you feel about your blocking?
Yeah, so in college, we still had a really explosive offense. I think we finished, top 2 or 3 in the SEC every year. We had DK Metcalf, A.J. Brown, my quarterback, Jordan Tom, who's now with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So it was, extremely explosive, but it was also very simplified. Like I probably ran 5 or 6 different routes all year.
Mm-hmm.
So it was very different, but also I've found it to be super fun just being able to go out there and do, 20, 30 different types of routes instead of kind of feeling, not limited, but just having more tools that we can use is, and like fun is really the only word that comes to my mind, being able to go out and do a lot of different things. And that's what I love about the tight end position. Like we can go in the box and block, we can go pass protect, and then we can go run around and score a touchdown. Still waiting for me to get a little passing play in there. I had a couple handoffs last year, but yeah, and in terms of blocking, I feel like Coach Boris has done an awesome job. Just working on little footwork techniques and where to put your hands and knowing that the leverage of the defenders, like on a certain front, they're going to be playing a certain gap and know how to use that against them. And then obviously having Lee Smith has been invaluable. Like he's been incredible. As probably one of the best blocking tight ends ever. Having him has been incredible for that aspect of the game. So it's been, I really do feel comfortable with that part as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Dawson, has training camp, the transition between training camp and into week 1 prep been any different this year, whether it feels different or whether it's actually been different with what you guys are doing, just thinking about this off season and how it hasn't been an off season like any others?
Yeah, it does feel a little different just because we didn't have OTAs and mini camps and everything. So it kind of feels like, we're supposed to have more time, but I think everyone at the same time is really prepared. Everyone's excited to kind of start having that opponent in our mind now instead of playing against our defense every day. Now we're, starting to scout out what the Jets are doing. So it has been a little different. The turnaround has felt a little quicker. But besides that, I think it's pretty similar, how the days are scheduled, how the week looks like, and the scout team looks. Everything's pretty similar to last year.
And then talking about the Jets, they had the second best rush defense last season. So have you guys looked at any film yet? And if so, how's that prep been? What do you see out of their defense?
Yeah, so their defense is always really good. Greg Williams is awesome. He's going to give us a lot of hard looks that we might not have seen before. So everyone's been really preparing hard for that. We do spend a lot of time in the film room. We're about to go watch all of our practice, all of the looks that our practice squad guys were able to give us. And then, when we go home at the end of the day, it's on us to look at the breakdown film folders they give us on our iPads. So they really do a good job. The coaches and staff do a good job making it easy for us, laying everything out, giving us certain looks that we can pull up on film and watch by ourselves. But then while we're here in the building, it's easy to follow along with the coaches and see what they point out and mismatches and different looks. So yeah, we're definitely ready for a good fight this weekend.
Thanks, Dawson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Dawson, one more question for you before we let you go. I just want to ask you about what you have seen from the offensive line, because obviously a big question mark was that right side. Will Cody play tackle or guard? Obviously John's out, but from your perspective, what have you seen from the different combinations that, the coaches have maybe been throwing in there, and, how has that chemistry with the offense been going when there has been a lot of different combinations that they're throwing at you?
Yeah, I mean, it's felt seamless so far. We have a lot of talent and depth. And I think our coaching staff's comfortable with a lot of different guys that they can throw in at different positions, specifically on the line too. So it's felt like it's been a pretty well-oiled machine so far, and everyone's kind of clicking together. Our chemistry's great. I know a lot of the guys hang out with each other outside of the facility. So it's, I feel like it's going to be an exciting year for us. And up front, everybody's looked good so far in practice.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, Dawson, Thad Brown here, WRLC in Rochester. I'm sorry if this has been asked to you already, but we heard all offseason with all the restrictions COVID-wise how, you wouldn't have this, you wouldn't be able to do that, you have to catch up to this. Now that that's all done, we're in a game week. How much further behind do you feel in terms of getting ready for the regular season are you now than you were last year?
I think everyone's right where we were at last year. I think the last few weeks have kind of felt like we've been playing catch up. But as of now, as of today, I feel like everyone's kind of done a great job fighting back for the lost time that we had. And we had to make some, a lot of weird, changes during the off season and kind of feel like we were getting enough work in. But at this point, like today, I feel like everyone's on the same page. Like we know it's practice 1 for week 1. I feel like during camp, we did a great job kind of doing a, catch up, so to say. So I think everyone's on the same page and everyone's feeling good.
How hard was it then to take 6 weeks of camp and jam it into 3 or, whatever you want, however you want to look at it? And what was done? What do you think was the 1 or 2 things that you point to and say, wow, I'm glad we did this because now we're ready to go?
First and foremost, I was glad that we had acclimation practices and we didn't jump straight into full-on camp mode, because if that would have happened, I feel like there would have been a lot of injuries and setbacks. So I feel like they did a great job from our trainers, our coaches, just getting us ready physically to get to where we could really start having those tough camp practices. But I also think our walkthroughs were some of the most helpful, just going out, just in tennis shoes and baseball caps and running through plays with a look. And I think just mentally getting those reps was really important during that time, at the same time as we were letting our bodies catch up with us.
Did you guys have to mentally kind of turn your brains up a little bit for a walkthrough, knowing that they're more important because you'd have less of everything this offseason?
Yeah, it was definitely very emphasized, making sure that we were all locked in, knowing that there are valuable reps that we really should, if it was a normal year, we should have been practicing that day. But because of all the circumstances we couldn't control, it was the walkthrough that was kind of the practice for the day. So everybody was very mentally sharp and into it. And it was kind of good training in itself, just, being locked in on your assignment and knowing what you're supposed to do.
Cool, Dawson. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure.